Muchismo Eugene, another video from Access Strategy. Welcome. Thank you guys. I appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, and share the video if you think it's helpful to you or someone else. Because the empaths know there's nowhere for the narcissist to go. Because the empaths, chosen ones, know there's really nowhere for the narcissist to go. I mean, with the internet, we have mainstream media even talking about narcissistic. So the buzzword is out there. Many times it's being used very reckless, and I think a lot of times when I'm illustrating some things, I may in fact misobserve some people as narcissists, which really may not be. But this is my philosophy on this. Everybody's a narcissist until you're not. You're going to have to disprove that you are a narcissist. I said that almost 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. Jokingly, to some degree, I'm using that philosophy, but it really does hold true. And what that means is I even went as far as to say I'm a narcissist until I can disprove that I'm a narcissist. This is a work in progress, guys. You know, while we're looking outward towards determining narcissists in our world, which is very, very prevalent and is getting ever increasingly pervasive or prevalent. And we also have to monitor our own behavior, because some of the things that we follow, some of the people that we follow, some of the people that we look up to, some of the people's philosophies and ways of thinking we embrace. You got to understand, before we awakened, we were very much mechanically driven and groomed and programmed in the matrix type of doing things. So we have to unlearn almost everything we've learned in this world. And a lot of narcissism exists even in chosen ones. You know, because we've adopted a way of living in a lifestyle that pretty much looks like the narcissist many times. But anyway, back to that point, the narcissists have nowhere to go, because chosen ones, empaths awakening, no. We know. We know what we know, what we know. And the ones that, ones of you who all awakened and made sure that the narcissist knew that you knew, it's game over, because before you knew and they knew you knew, they had the advantage. They had the leveraging tool or piece to where they can sit amongst you and you didn't know what was going on. They could play these games with you. They could have you doing more to try to stay in their graces. But now that you've distanced yourself from them and you become aware and you're awake, and they know that you are awake, they know that you know. So there's nowhere for them to go. And the buzzword is out there, but more importantly, people know you know. People heard about you. And they may not have heard about you in context of they are awake, they know that they are an empath, they know that they are a chosen one. Because the empath, the narcissist, I don't even think that I know they don't understand what a chosen one is or empath. They just know it's something in your aura that is both appealing and attractive and magnetizing to them, because they want the attention, adoration, and adulation. Truth be told, they couldn't handle being chosen. They couldn't handle the energy and the essence that you have. If you would put that in their contaminated body, it would kill them dead on the sight. Because they don't introspect. You got to understand. That's like putting oil in water. It's just not going to concentrate. It's not going to concentrate in their mind, in their soul, and in their spirit to the point where they understand, wow, this feels damn good. I'm going to reject that old way of living and I'm going to start living like this. It has to be this way, guys. There has to be some that don't make it to the next level of this journey. And God says it. He says, many are called, but few are chosen. So if God has said this, looking at our life and looking at the fact that we ironically ended up not being a narcissist, what was there to keep us from becoming what that narcissist ended up being? I often thank God that, I ended up being empathic more so than narcissistic. In light of, or in spite of, being in the matrix, and before we awakened, we went along to get along, and we still didn't run with the crowd to a strong degree. We may have been with the crowd in the physical, but our mind was hard pressed. We just didn't know any other alternative. We just felt like that was the thing to do. Because we were groomed in our family structure to be a part of certain groupings, like say the church. And so even when we felt like things were wrong and we knew in our logical brain, sense of observation, just common sense, like I doted on the church I went to and grew up in. Hypocritical as all get out. The preacher, this is back in the 70s or in the early 80s. I can remember when church ended, not only did the church when church commenced and it ended, the deacons, anybody who smoked, literally smoked on the steps of the church. They lit up cigarettes. As a matter of fact, they couldn't wait. They was popping the Newport or whatever, Benson and Hedges, whatever. They was tapping them on, grabbing in their lapel to get the cigarettes before they even got out the door. They was lighting it up as soon as they opened the door. They was lighting it up. And in today's society, one would say, man, ain't nobody perfect. Well, I understand that, but I'm just showing you a picturesque image of what was okay to do, and no one said anything about it. And fast forward to, and additionally, the preacher, deacons, many times would stop by the bootleggers before they went home. That is, for all you all don't know who the bootlegger is, that's the guy that sold the moonshine and the hard liquor and the beer and that stuff like that, cigarettes. And they would stop and they would just hang out there for a few hours before a lot of them go to the bar with their suit on, right out of the church. And so I'm happy that I grew up in that environment for one main reason. I saw very devout people that did what they said and lived as pretty much as best they could with the imperfections they had here or there, but they didn't just wallow in their foolishness. It's kind of what I'm really getting at. God is expecting you to adhere to His word, His voice, and His principles. But you can only do that as much as you submit to Him in a very humble way. But a lot of times arrogancy and pride, where when a brother is supposed to say something to another brother or sister say something to another sister and say, you shouldn't be messing with that guy's wife, you know what I'm saying? You could probably get killed, or you don't want that kind of stuff. And you a deacon in the church, you kindly tell this brother, you ain't trying to put him on blast, and the pride will make that person clap back like, mind your business, man. You can't talk. You drink every week. And so this was the thing, when you call a person out on their stuff, they typically, they would go tit for tat with you. And doesn't a narcissist do that? In the humblest way, if you address something to a narcissist, back when we were involved with them and before we awakened and became aware that it was a waste of time and actually it was an offense to correct a narcissist, you would pay for that unbeknownst to you. They would harbor that correction from that day forth until they finally got you back. Like Cardi B said on her rant, get their lick back. I remember that when you used to hit somebody, get your lick back. That brought back memories when she said that, and she's not even old enough to know about that era. But from where she was brought up at, I guess people were still trying to get their lick back. Yep, that's what the narcissist is trying to do all the time, get their lick back. But I guess it's high time that they realize now that the empath chosen ones know. So it's really nowhere for them to go. That being said, bless.